Welcome to Sterling High School. I'm Jarod Claybourn in the TV studio with Mr. Shawn Klenk, our athletic trainer. Thank you for joining us, sir. Today is Thursday, December 10th. How are you and your family, sir?
Doing well, thanks. Yeah, just holding up, trying to keep, trying to keep emotionally strong as we're, as we do approach day-to-day things. But everybody's doing well, thank you.
Very good. Okay, we have a few announcements here. First, I want to reiterate that we are following the hybrid schedule from home. I also want to give a shout out right away that you've answered the call, students, of turning on your cameras. We're seeing improvement. I want to continue to encourage that. Turn on your camera, connect with your teachers, show your face, and that's very positive. So please continue to do that. Another announcement related to working from home is that there will not be a change to the grading or attendance policy. In the spring, when we were reactive, we had to make adjustments to make sure we accounted for everything. This year, we've been proactive. We advanced communicated, we've trained. There will not be any type of adjustments to grading or attendance policies. So that means that you must connect daily, on time, and online, and continue to participate in your courses. And that credits, earned credits, still count. So if you are missing and you lose credit, then you could end up having to repeat a course. So please continue to be mindful of that. A couple other announcements are the Toys for Tots annual is coming up next Friday. So please be encouraged to donate. This is sponsored by our radio broadcasting, and it is supported by our ROTC and our Interact Club. So make sure that you're ready on next Friday, the 18th, to tune in, and please plan to bring up, an extra toy or any type of donation for that. It's a wonderful, wonderful program that we are able to participate in, and I want to highlight we had one community member, a young man, who was able to donate almost 300 toys by drinking eggnog. So make sure you tune in on next Friday to hear more about that story, how eggnog turned into almost 300 toys donated to the Toys for Tots. And speaking of food, the food distribution is happening weekly. The community pickup is on Wednesdays. You are supposed to go online and pre-order that. If you are a student or parent, you're not taking advantage of this, or your parents aren't taking advantage of this, please take advantage of it. Have a conversation, and if you need assistance with getting it to your home, let us know. Again, this is a government-funded program where all school-age students have access to meals, 7 days of meals, breakfast and lunch, and they're doing a fabulous job. Our cooks in the kitchen are making homemade things, and it's just fantastic. So please take advantage of that. So Mr. Klenk, you're here with us we're approaching this winter season, and we know the NJSI has delayed the start of our season. We, as a district, have shut down our building in order to help protect and quarantine ourselves as a whole district. So unfortunately, we don't have access to the weight room, to open gyms and things like that. So that just adds to the burden and stress that this pandemic has put on us right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime you go outside of the mainstream of what a normal approach to the season would be, adds to the stress of the situation. I deal with athletic injuries, so it's almost like a whole team is hurt and everybody's out for 6 weeks. So it's a little overwhelming sometimes for kids. But the important thing is to try to stay positive in your approach and do something daily to make sure that you're ready for the season.
So, and that's one of the things we want to talk about. So what do we do now? What are the best ways individually that I can be self-motivated, some activities? Because unfortunately, right, that's what we got. We can communicate with our coaches virtually, maybe with our peers or teammates, but what are some ideas? How do we do it?
You have to get out and be active every single day, and you have to do something that's going to actually stress your body to a point where you're ready to take it to that next level. So this is really like a preseason when you come in. So almost akin to what July would be in a normal season leading up to the fall season. Before August starts and they kind of ramp things up. So this is really getting your body conditioned and callous to that activity level. I mean, if you think about it, there's a shortened season. So in a normal season, if somebody comes in and they pull a hamstring or pull a quad or get hurt or sprain an ankle the first week of the season, we can have 2 or 3 weeks to recover and then still have a majority of the season left. You could still have 9, 10 weeks of the season. Well, through the shortened season, if you're coming in, you're pulling the hamstring or pulling a quad, you're missing a week, and it might take a week to get back. That's a third of the season because we're only going to a 6-week season. So it's really imperative for kids to stay on top and be active. Now I'm going to be a little bit more interactive. The coaches are going to be interactive with the kids. I'll be sending programs to the coaches of telling what the kids actually do. Hopefully we'll make some videos with that too, and then the coaches can get out and send those to the kids as well. So for the student athletes, I want to make sure that you interact with your coaches and make sure that you're communicating with them, and then following up and doing something every single day.
Yeah. So repeating some of the things you said, we know that the seasons this year have been shortened,
Yes.
right? Because the goal is just to provide an opportunity. But with a shortened season, if you get injured, that really could result in missing a large portion of the season.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely, yeah.
that just overemphasizes the need for you as an individual to be committed to doing something at home by yourself right now to help protect yourself, preserve the season that you do have.
Sure, absolutely. And then it adds to the mental stress as well, because if you don't prepare yourself physically every single day, once you come back and then it's shut down and all of a sudden you're saying like, well, I'm a JV/varsity type player, and that could take that opportunity away. And then all of a sudden you're on a JV team, and that could add to that mental stress that the kids are already experiencing through this whole pandemic.
And we saw great successes with our fall sports. Our fall athletes did a great job. They had a little bit more an opportunity to prepare. Obviously, the warmer weather is better, so the challenge is there for the winter athletes, but you need to see the value of taking care of yourself and making sure you're getting out and doing something.
Sure, and again, it's a little bit easier to get out and do activity and exercise when it's warm out, because nobody wants to be inside. You want to be outside, but it's going to take a special commitment, especially as the weather starts to change and get a little cold, to stay out there and do some running, do stretching, and do other things to get your body prepared for when you do come back.
All right, so you can follow Mr. Klenk on Twitter, student athletes. Make sure you're doing that. He'll be in touch with your coaches. Encourage you to partner with a teammate. Set some personal challenges. Make sure you're getting your workouts in, and you're committed to being ready for when the season is here.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure. Okay, so a couple other announcements. A big one that we're going to further dig into is we have announced our 2019-2020 Educator of the Year, and that is Miss Sharon Galt. And so on behalf of the Board of Education, administration, our entire staff and community, we want to wish a shout out and thank you, congratulations to Miss Sharon Galt, who is in her 21st year here at Sterling High School, a world language teacher teaching Spanish, very active in our foreign language clubs and our travel club, active member of our SCA. She's coached field hockey, swim, lacrosse, and just been a huge, tremendous asset to our school community. Thank you, Sharon, and congratulations to you. And we look forward to continuing to celebrate with you, especially as we get back into the school. Additionally, we're looking forward to the winter sports. We just talked about how they're going to go into virtual, and we're looking forward to the return to Miss Kate McDonald coming back as head coach of the girls basketball team after being away for a few years. And then we're going to have the debut of Mr. Justin Barringer as our boys basketball coach once we get into the season. And I know both of them are connecting with their students already.
Yeah, that's one of the tragedies is like when we made those coaching announcements back in the summer. We're all excited for the kids are all excited, the coaches are all excited to get started. Then you put the brakes on, and so that kind of adds to it. It's like that excitement's there, but then you really, it's almost like we're putting the season on a microwave, rather than trusting the process and letting it.
Sure, there's huge frustrations for both the students and the coaches, but I'm excited.
Oh yeah, and they're excited as well. And again, it's nice to have those interactions with them throughout the day. Again, and the big thing, both of the coaches are in the building. So on a normal year, they have those interactions with the kids. And again, this isn't a normal year.
Right.
So it's almost like, even though you're an in-school coach, it's almost like you're an adjunct coach as well, because you don't have that that daily interaction with the kids in the lunchroom, in the hallways, and in the classrooms. That's why you need to turn on your computers, to have those interactions with the teachers and make that connection.
You do.
Being and I guess I want to give a shout out too to Miss Gold as well. I actually started here the same year as Miss Gold. So
great.
We started together. That's our
in 2000.
That's our class. Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
Great class.
We'll let Mr. Yeager go by the wayside. We're not going to give him a shout.
All right.
But, yeah.
That's a good class.
So actually, we started with and actually Mr. Cloud way back when was on the same class. So the four of us actually started together. But so I want to give a shout out to Sharon, which is great, and I also want to give a shout out to the rest of the rest of the staff here. I've been really impressed with how everybody's going above and beyond to make those connections. And when you talk about turning the camera on, the teachers need that interaction with the kids. You need to see the kids. You need to have that interaction. Whether it's a bored face or whether it's rolling your eyes, it doesn't matter.
Right.
We need that, and the kids need that interaction as well. I mean, there's too much. Unfortunately, you need that sense of normalcy, and you need to say, hey, you know what? I'm going to check in, and we're going to see those teachers. The teachers need it for their mental health. The kids need it for their mental health. And this year has been especially challenging because after a certain amount of years, there's a certain amount of day where you can kind of throw it on autopilot. You can rely on your experience to carry you through different situations.
Sure.
There's no autopilot this year.
Not this year.
I mean, everything's takes, offs, and landings every single day. And being a father of a new teacher, my daughter got a job teaching elementary school. I can tell you how much work and how much effort she puts into it to make connections. And it's tough. And I said, I appreciate the staff here for what they do every single day. And again, seeing it in my own home and then seeing how that, and then also having college students and seeing how they're interacting, it's a tough way to make a living right now. And it's really tough to make those connections. But I want to give it a shout out to all the staff, and congratulations, Sharon.
Awesome. Thank you for that feedback. So speaking with the mental health, next week, the Student Governor Association has planned out a Spirit Week. So we want to encourage you to participate, even though we're going to be from home. There'll be incentives and prizes for the classes as they compete against each other. Monday is going to be Pajama Day. Tuesday, festive socks. Wednesday is going to be a whiteout because it's a blizzard. Thursday, ugly sweater. And then Friday, our school colors, blue and silver, Spirit Day. And that'll be next week. You'll see more information on that. But participate, have fun with it. And again, turn on your camera and show your participation during that time. One last announcement. We want to join the borough of Somerdale in wishing a very happy birthday to Mr. John Walsh, who is a 100-year-old Marine who has battled at Iwo Jima and is a legacy in the borough of Somerdale. So happy birthday to Mr. Walsh, who is celebrating 100 years. And with that,
actually, every year during the Memorial Day parade, Mr. Walsh for a long time would be a part of those part of that ceremony, and it's very entertaining to see to hear their stories, about what happened, because when they were, and there were some survivors back then who were in Pearl Harbor, and actually when it happened, and basically got taken by taken by surprise. So to hear their interactions of how one day that they're sitting on a tropical island, and the next day they're in the middle of a war is really it was really fascinating. And
that's great.
Yeah.
All right.
So, happy birthday, Mr. Walsh.
Happy birthday. Okay, so congratulations, Miss Galt, and everyone out there, stay safe and sterling strong, and that's Go Knights.